Okay, I think we can start with the introduction and giving times, and my colleagues here are going to help out with admitting everyone in while I'm talking. Thank you. Okay, so good morning and good afternoon, depending on where you're joining us today. Welcome to our sixth workshop, Digitizing and Mapping of Heritage Data. My name is Azadeh Vafadari, and I'm the training and workshop coordinator for the MAHSA project. And I'm very pleased to be your host and moderator today. We also have our other MAHSA and MAESaM's colleague and project members here today working with some of the activities, and we will be doing and giving and delivering some of the talks for us. Thank you very much for joining us. This is a sixth workshop that's been organized and hosted by Mapping Archaeological Heritage in South Asia, MAHSA, and Mapping Africa's Endangered Archaeological Sites and Monuments, MAESaM's projects. Thanks for your time and interest in following our work and in joining our previous workshops if you have had in the past 3 years. We hope that this workshop, the sixth one in the series of our online workshop, will again provide an opportunity to give us an update about the work that we've been doing and also an opportunity after some time to reconnect. Before we start, I want just to say a reminder that as other previous workshops, the workshop is being recorded, so we can share the video after with those who couldn't join us today. And I will also take a few screenshots to share on social media. So if you have any objections, please let me know, and I will make sure that your name and images are not included. To open the workshop, I'd like to invite the principal investigator of MAHSA projects, Professor Cameron Petrie, followed by MAESaM's project manager, Dr. Stefania Merlo, to start the workshop by welcoming everyone. Cameron, to you, please.
Hello, everybody. Good morning, UK time, and hello, whichever other time zones that you were in. I realize everybody is spread quite widely. And welcome to this workshop. I'm just offering you all a welcome on behalf of the MAHSA project. It's so nice to see a number of colleagues and friends here in the audience. And I think today's session will be extremely interesting, perhaps a little bit different in terms of its content than previous sessions, but no less important, I think, especially with the fact that there will be some focus on some of the underlying concepts that lie in the background in terms of the concepts and the complexities when it comes to actually trying to create these large-scale resources. And the people that are going to be speaking to you today will be covering different topics, specific case studies, different regions, and also talking about what are the sort of methods and approaches that these projects are using to manage large-scale heritage data and large-scale mapping data and other sorts of information. So I'd just like to welcome you all on behalf of the MAHSA project. Several of the MAHSA team members will be participating today, and they will be interacting with you either directly by speaking or as part of the breakout rooms and other sessions. So I hope that you will enjoy the sessions, and hope to see you all at another time soon as well. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Cameron. Stefania, please.
Good morning, everybody, from the MAEASaM project, and welcome. Again, it's so fantastic to see so many participants already having joined and seeing the pool and variety of people that are interested in the themes that we're offering via these very brief workshops, increasing as time goes by. Most welcome, and we hope that what we have to offer today will not only give you an insight in what we're doing as projects, but also create new points of questioning and the way in which we deal with our archival data in particular, and how we treat it to make it part of a large database. What we are conveying today is also coming directly from our experience about how difficult and complex it is to digitize and integrate data into a database and make them consistent and general enough to be used by a variety of different groups of people. We'll also spend some time looking into how we should then perhaps audit our data and make sure that it is consistent and coherent and usable by others. Obviously, we also and always work within the framework of care and fair data, and this is what we're trying to do. And then we hope you will enjoy. We're going to play a little game later on, facilitated by MAHSA and MAEASaM team. We have enjoyed playing it before, and it's about the CDOC CRM, underlying principles of ARCHES. We hope you enjoy it too, and that it runs smoothly. And we'll see who will emerge the winners of this fantastic and very fun game that we will give you details about, and you can go and play yourselves later on. So welcome. Please feel free to reach out to us as a collective or any of us individually. It's also a fantastic occasion to catch up with friends that we haven't seen in a while. Feel free to drop comments in the chat and personal hellos in the private chat if you feel like. Fantastic. Over to Azadeh, and again, welcome. Have a good time, I hope.
Thanks very much, Stefania. So as Stefania said, that today we're going to talk about our work and other people's work in archaeological data digitization, following a set of standards, rules, and ontologies to make sure that the data that we're digitizing will be reusable, searchable, accessible for further use and research. I thought before starting the workshop to launch a poll, just to better understand how people in the room are feeling about working with data and ontologies. There's just 3 questions to answer, just to see. I think, yes, it's launched. So if you can go ahead and answer. The first question is about how comfortable are you about working with data, from not at all. Data can be very overwhelming, to very comfortable, that you're very used to work with data, either large size or big size. If you've ever worked using ontologies in general, and if you heard of CDOC CRM ontology. I think you can see the result that mostly people are comfortable working with data. And then the use of ontologies, I think, is where that people, especially the CDOC CRM, is the part that people might not have heard before. And that's a part that we're going to, with the game, especially focus to familiarize you as an ontology that's used a lot for heritage data recording. So I'm going to stop the poll. Thanks for answering. So if in general, I want to define data digitization. In simple words, digitization is a process of converting information from analog format to digital. And this work involves representing and digitizing different types of data that we're dealing with, either text coming from documents, map, geographic data, images, and also, as you will see with one of our speakers, intangible heritage like oral histories and stories. As archaeologists and heritage professionals and researchers, we've been working more and more. We accumulate a lot of data, and we've been working more and more with digital data. And this have implication on way we engage and use data in our research and work with our collaborators, and also in how it's stored and analyzed and data. As it was subject of our last workshop, we have on our YouTube channel, and I'm going to share the YouTube channel, our previous workshop, and the previous one was on database management workshop. We need to make sure that our data is digitized and recorded and then stored in a responsible and sustainable way. We use different standards and ontologies to formalize our data in a structured way. And this will allow us to be able to efficiently find, understand, and use information for research, monitoring, and decision-making purposes. Also, in order to make a clear and understandable data set, we need to think about recording metadata, or data about data, and paradata, the process by which data was collected and recorded. So another aspect of data digitization work that we've been doing is to think about creating digital metadata record of the heritage data that's been recorded, to encourage this data reuse and findability and understandability, of course. When we are working with the data set, we wish to have access to ways that this data set was collected and interpreted. Archaeologists record their observations based on their own priorities and interpretation. And then we apply our own research questions and data architecture to set of data that may have been collected for a different purpose. We are adding our own set of understandings to this presets to different understandings and priorities and interpretation, which is not bad, but when we make decisions in our work with data, especially legacy data that we're working with, part of our job is to make sure to document our choices and to interpret and to record the decisions and interpretation that we're making in a very explicit way and document this whole process. Today, with the experts and guests that we have as part of this workshop, we highlight these issues with a few case examples, and we hope to be able to demonstrate the importance of this thinking and decision-making about how to model and digitize data before starting any work to help the sustainability and usability of archaeological data.